everybody, welcome to Midnight Who Extra. Of course, I am Edward the Professor, and tonight is a video we've been kind of promising and hinting at for many months now, and we're finally doing it, and that is the Missing Who series, Who Experiencing the Missing Stories. So as you may or may not know, there is 97 episodes of Doctor Who from the classic run that is no longer with us. That has led to 26 serials gone from the archives and no longer can be experiencing in full length. But they still can be experiencing through different methods. And tonight we're going to mention 3 of them, which are audios, books, and telesnaps. So first is audios. For all the missing stories are in existence by fan recordings. And without that, we probably would not have a lot of these animated reconstructions or telesnap reconstructions. So they are one of the best ways. So here, because we can at least have the audio to all the missing stories. So audio is a very interesting thing when it comes to Doctor Who. At least classic Doctor Who, because you think of it as visual, and now you just have the soundtrack. So they link they have added narration to link the stories to make them a little bit more cohesive. Now, audio is not a bad method of experiencing some of these missing stories. Some of my favorites include the Daleks' Master Plan. The only problem with the Daleks' Master Plan, as you may or not know, is it's 12 parts in length. It's 12 parts. So that's about a 5-hour audio, including that one-off little special, Mission to Unknown. So it can take a while to listen to the audio. So you can also read the book, or find telesnaps of it. But the audio is a pretty good way to do it. It's just the audio, it takes about 5 hours. A lot of these audios you have to really sit down. And some of the Hartnell ones are a little more difficult to listen to. At least the historical ones for me are harder to listen to on the audio format. But more like the Wheel in Space and some of these Power of the Daleks and Evil of the Daleks are okay to listen to, and I can actually stand them. Audio is one of those things that I don't usually jump toward for the missing stories, but when I really have to, I'll do it. But I'm not a big fan of audio. Basically, though, the audio helps a lot of the animation reconstructions, telesnap reconstructions, so they are pretty helpful. But one thing, if you really want experiencing all these missing stories, is you really should pick up the Lost in Time box set. That one includes all these little parts, like they include episodes of all the missing stories that they have, just random sampling of a whole bunch of missing stories. So it's a good way to at least get into the missing stories, even if you don't get the complete story. I think they have the Crusaders, I think they have the full episodes that are still in existence, and the 2 audios that they just put in there. So, audio, it's one of the best ways. So, let's talk about the very first method, which is books. Target books. So, these are from a company called Target. These are actually little novelizations of Doctor Who stories. And there is over 100 of them. I think there is the whole Doctor Who classic library, except a few, on these Target books. So there's about 150 of them, of course. And this basically is a novelization of the complete Doctor Who story. Experiencing all of the missing stories. Because all the missing stories are in these Target novelizations. And they're really good. They're really, really good little reads. Because they don't take very long. I think I read one in a day once or 2 days. They're on the short side. And you at least get the feeling of what that Doctor Who story would have been like. So that's why I really love the Target novelizations. Now, some of my favorite Target novelizations I read was the Celestial Toymaker. I saw part 4 on the Lost in Time box set. That one is still in the BBC archives. So I watched, what was the episode? It was like, I really want to see, I wish I could actually watch the entire Celestial Toymaker. But I kind of compromised and at least got the book. Another way is the audio to actually listen to it, but it's kind of a very quirky, kind of intriguing story, and I kind of liked it. Another one I really liked is the Faceless Ones. It's just Invasion of the Body Snatchers meets Doctor Who. I really liked it. Another one is the Highlanders. I really liked the Highlanders. It was a very fun read. And Marco Polo, which actually really made me want to watch this story, and to make me actually want to watch the classic historical, because me watching historicals takes some time. So yeah, that is pretty much the target novelization range. I don't have all the missing stories, but this is, you know, it's more a fun way to just kind of read them. So there you go. There is the target missing stories. You can read them. You can now read them. You guys can experiencing these missing stories that are no longer in the BBC archives. And that is through these 3 magazines. So what these magazines are Telesnap. So they're the Telesnaps with the text. This is not like the complete dialogue of the story, but you at least get the feeling of what the story was about. So you at least get the pictures of each of the stories, various stories. They tell you a little bit, like if the story is actually in the archive, you get this little text read about. And it's actually a really kind of a unique way to actually kind of experiencing these missing stories. My favorite are, of course, the Patrick Troughton ones, because he has the most missing. Now these are, you get little text synopsises and telesnaps. Now, what I use these for, besides reading them to actually see what the story was like, is I take the audio. So we got the audio soundtrack, and I play that, and I also use the telesnaps, and I follow my way through the story, so I can see what the characters look like, what the scenery looks like, and it makes it feel like a telesnap reconstruction of what the BBC does. So it's kind of a make-your-own telesnap reconstruction. Are one of the biggest ways where Doctor Who stories are reconstructed. Marco Polo was reconstructed, condensed reconstruction on the Beginnings box set, so that had one. It was kind of reconstructed with clips and all that in the Aztec Special Edition. Underwater Menace, very poorly reconstructed for a DVD release. It was not one of the best. And the Web of Fear was reconstructed for episode 3. So telesnap reconstructions are a big way the Doctor Who stories are reconstructed. But they're not the only way Doctor Who stories are reconstructed. There's one other way, and that's what we're going to talk about next week, and that is animation. So, as we talk about animation and missing stories, it's going to be pretty interesting because there's something big coming up, and it is the full-blown 6-part animated reconstruction of Power of the Daleks. It should be pretty enjoyable and exciting to actually finally experience Power of the Daleks. So we'll see you in part 2 of this video in next week sometime. So we'll see you then. Have a great day. Bye everyone.